class. We're doing a splits stretching routine. So come on to the Instagram live if you're there, jump on, say hi, let me know who's there, who's actually joining in on the class as well. And for those on YouTube over in this lens as well, I hope you enjoy tonight as well. Just one more little thing though, just a bit of a disclaimer that this video or class is purely done for entertainment reasons and purposes only. So in terms of your own personal body or injuries, make sure that you have a tick from your doctor or a medical professional to let you know that you're safe to do such exercises and stretches and so forth. So we'll start with a warm-up today, getting into the joints, and getting the blood flowing is really important to then get deeper into our stretching. So tonight will be a combination of dynamic stretching while we'll be moving through exercises to open up the body with movement, and then we'll be doing some static stretching, and the static stretching actually helps us get deeper into those fascia tissues, which are a lot more harder to sort of work into, breathe into, and that's why we hold them static and why we relax into those stretches as well. So make sure that you're nice and warm to begin with in terms of socks or tracking pants. This room I'm in is a little bit cold, so I've got a jacket on, and we want to try and stay as warm as we can throughout the whole process while we stretch, because blood flow and circulation is so important here. So starting in a cross-legged position, this is just going to help ground us down mentally as well for a bit of mindfulness. Sitting up tall on your sit bones, flipping the palms facing the sky, or down for some grounding, just depending what sort of energy you feel like you need to receive. And just simply breathing. Not to change the rhythm of your breath just yet, but we're just tuning into our bodies and taking this opportunity to find out and explore with our mind what's happening in our body at the moment. It's as simple as sitting there with your eyes closed and just scanning through your body, making sure you're not holding your breath. And we're not trying to stop our brain from thinking. Often people think mindfulness or some forms of meditation were meant to be absolutely clear of thought. But if that were to be the case, we wouldn't be alive, because our brain is designed to do that. Our brain is a very active organ, and it does what it is meant to do with all those thoughts. But meditation and mindfulness just help us to ground ourselves and helps us to sort of settle the dust of chatter. So we're just working on slowing down, we're not working on completely stopping everything. And we'll bring our mind into our sit bones and our feet, any parts of our body that are touching the floor. Eyes are still closed, and just bringing our mind to those areas and focusing on in there. And the reason why we focus on different parts of our body is we're exercising our mind in order to be able to focus. So when we pinpoint something with our mind, like our sit bones underneath us, focusing there, often our monkey brain will want to distract us and flutter away with other thoughts, and the exercise there is to just bring your attention back to where you're focusing. Now that we're feeling grounded in our bodies and present in the moment, we'll blink the eyes open and we'll come into some shoulder rolls, nice and gentle here. Take it slow, remember we're working on slowing down. This is an evening practice at this time of the day, it's 8 p.m. So most of us probably have had dinner or some of us will have a snack afterwards, which will be good. So nothing too vigorous or crazy. We're winding down for the evening. You could be doing this practice as well during the day as well. You can do this at any time, but for the sake of this Instagram live, it is evening right now. And the other way, coming forwards. And we'll come into the head, rolling around nice and slow. Take this one easy. For some of us, our bodies have been put in different positions out of habit than what we used to. I know mine has. I've gone from standing for 8 hours a day as a hairdresser to now sitting down a lot. So my body is really struggling to adjust to that. So in terms of sleeping patterns as well, and we'll change to the other direction. I know that one side of my neck is a lot more stiff than the other, and that's from sleeping patterns or not sleeping as well as we all could be. And the same with my hip flexors. I'm noticing that my hip flexors are really, really tight. Lots of sitting down will do that to you, so this will be really good to open up those areas. We'll come into the wrists, rolling the wrists around, getting that fluid throughout the joints to help lubricate our joints, prevents injury, keeps us healthy and happy. And the other way. Coming into some flashlights, really, really tight, strong fist, opening up nice and wide, really, really strong hand and open. In and out, in. And we do this to gradually get a little bit faster, staying as strong through the hands as we get quicker as well. Really working into those tendons, getting the blood flowing and shaking it out. We're going to come straight over into cat-cow, so you can come over onto your tabletop. Stacking your joints, using those flashlight hands down onto the mat. Shoulders are over the tops of wrists. Same with the hips, so over the tops of your knees. And making sure that your ankles behind you are tracking straight behind. Inhale, we drop the belly, look up. Exhale, coming through. Inhale. So even though this is a splits stretch routine, we need the whole body to be involved, especially the health of our spine, as we do start to get into some areas of the lower back when we do our splits. Inhale, drop the belly, look up, really curve through that spine, push up through those shoulders, navel to spine, tuck the chin. Inhale, drop the belly, tilt the pelvis all the way behind you. Exhale. Inhale, plugging down into those fingerprints all the time. And we'll find a neutral spine here. So making sure with a neutral spine, you still have your Mula Bandha and Uddiyana Bandha activated. That is, your pelvic floor is switched on and your navel to spine is switched on. And they're both working at the same time. So a neutral spine, we're creating a flat back, navel to spine. And you can even do a slight concave up, scooping up through that abdominal to help support you there. We're going to inhale. Exhale, we're going to look behind you, getting a nice C shape in the body, stretching through the side of the rib cage, and inhale, back to center. Exhale, other side. Looking behind you to your tail as far as you can. Inhale, center, and again. Exhale, moving through. Inhale, really use your breath here with the stretches. Coming center. Exhale to move, back to center, inhale, and last one, exhale, back to center. Find your neutral spine again, plugging those fingerprints down, and we're gently going to rock forwards and backwards. So you will get a little bit of a stretch through the wrists. Just go as far as your body will allow you, be nice and gentle. And we're also going to be opening up through the hips here a little bit too, waking up the legs, almost all the way back to a child's pose, but not quite. And this is a great way to warm up our hip flexors as well. And all the way back. Okay, so we're still going to be on the floor here, scooching forward. We're going to flip on over onto our bottoms. Now, just another tip back about the breathing. So I want to go a little bit more in depth about why we really need to use our breath through our stretches. So our breath is directly connected to our nervous system. When we start to stretch and we feel that pulling or that stretching sensation, that is still a safe feeling, but you know when you're that feeling of stretching a muscle, our body tends to think that is a threat, and we can go into fight or flight a little bit because we don't like the feeling of stretching most of the time. It's not a fun feeling for most people. So what happens is our body will tighten and stiffen up and retract. But what we need to do is really deepen into our breath, commit to the pose, commit to the breath, and you'll notice that the stretch starts to subside and you can get further into that stretch. And we're using oxygen and carbon dioxide in order to do this and really connect to your body. So do me a little experiment, and just for someone who's not into the habit of using their breath, really tonight or in this video, try and commit to your breath as much as you can, and you'll get results much, much faster. So starting out here, we're going to do a hamstring stretch. Try and say that a few times quickly. Hamstring stretch. We're sitting up nice and tall on the sit bones. And in terms of my yoga training, because I have a dance background and a yoga background, and they come from very different perspectives of how we stretch the body. But we're going to start off gentle and then we can get more intense. So starting with bent knees, making sure we're up on the center of our sit bones, and making sure that the spine is straight and we're stacking the rib cage on top of those hips. Taking an inhale through the nose to inhale. As we exhale through the nose as well, we're going to come on forward nice and gentle here. You can place your hands wherever you are. I understand everyone's stretching ability is somewhere different. So feel free that if you don't look like me in a stretch, don't stress. It's all about placing your body where you can and where you're capable to. So you can hold on to your shins, ankles or feet. And what I want you to do your best with is aiming your belly and chest towards your thighs. That's all I want you to do. I want you to keep your knees together and ankles together here. We're going to breathe. Inhale. Exhale through the nose. Remember that nervous system, we're calming it down. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. From here, we're going to scooch out the ankles a little bit further now so that we can get our upper body folding forward even more. So to start, take an inhale, seated up. Inhale. Exhale to move. And we exhale to move because we're getting rid of the air in our belly. This creates space so that we can move through and forwards. Inhale here. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. With every exhale, opening up that body a bit more. Inhale. Exhale. One more. Inhale. Exhale. We're going to do third time lucky all the way out. Now do your best that you can to keep your legs straight. We don't have to lock into the legs here. We're just lengthening behind the legs further to get a deeper stretch. Same thing. I'm already feeling a bit warm actually, so I'm going to take off my jacket. This is a really good sign that we're getting some heat into the body. So sitting up tall, we inhale. Exhale, coming on over. Same thing. Try and grab a little bit further down now if you can. Inhale. Exhale. Again, be kind to yourself if you're someone who needs a gentler stretch this evening, or if you're not as flexible as you would like. Stay compassionate to where you're at. Inhale. Exhale, beaming that heart forwards to those feet. Inhale. Exhale. Last one, inhale. Exhale all the air, and then we're gently going to roll on up. We're going to come into a quad stretch, but before we do that, we're just going to do some hip circles first. So leaning back on your hands, nice and relaxed, we're going to bring one knee up to the chest, open out, and then slide it down. Warming up our hips is so important for longevity as we age, trying to prevent getting any sort of hip replacements or injuries later on. And reverse the way we came. So out to the side this time, up to the chest and down. Stay connected to your breath here. The mind starts to wander, gets distracted, and we forget about breathing. And reverse, out to the side, up to the chest, and down. Okay, so coming into a quad stretch. Scooch down your mat a little bit so you've got some room behind you. Sitting up tall on those sit bones again, we're going to make two triangles with the legs. One's going to be in front, the other one's going to be behind. Again, everyone's flexibility is going to be different, but what we're going to aim for is the foot behind us, bringing it close towards our glute, tucking that in. The one in front of us can be close to our groin in a comfortable enough position that we can still sit on our sit bone there. Sitting up tall, take an inhale to lengthen through the spine. Exhale, starting to come back on your hands first. Then you can slowly progress down to your elbows. And then if you're someone who knows you can lie all the way down, just be nice and gentle to not hit the back of your head. Holding here, 4 rounds of breathing. We inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Always breathing into that belly. Inhale. Exhale. And then the way to come out of this is progress slowly up onto the foot, the legs that's in front of you that's bent, coming over to that side. And you can come up in sort of like a circular motion. I find that's the easiest way. Flipping to the other side, changing the legs over, tucking that foot tightly behind you towards that glute. Sitting up tall on your sit bone, we inhale. Exhale to move, same thing, progressing nice and slowly. Hands, elbows, and possibly to the floor as well. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. We'll do one more round. Inhale. And gently exhale, we'll come on out of the pose, round in that circular motion there. Sitting up onto our sit bones again. We're going to come into a glute stretch. There's 2 variations on the same stretch. One is sitting up, the other one is lying down. So some of you have probably done this one before or seen this one. It is quite common. I'm going to turn to the side so you get a better angle. We're creating the number 4 with our legs. So planting both feet down firmly, knees are bent up to the sky. We're going to bring one foot over the top of the other and open out with that knee. that top foot is flexed in order to protect our kneecap. It stays flexed the whole stretch. Pressing that knee that's bent on top, we're pushing it down gently out in front of us. Sitting up tall here, we can use the floor and leverage to push our body up towards our leg here and to feel into that stretch through our glute. That's variation number 1. Variation number 2 is the same thing except you're lying down. Coming on down to the floor, crossing the leg over. And here you can place one hand through the hole in the center and the other around the outside. And you can choose to have your legs straight or bent. And if you can't quite grab onto your shin at the front of your leg with your leg bent, you can grab underneath where the hamstring is here. And then you're pulling that leg in towards your chest. Similar to the way that we leverage on the floor when we're doing the seated version. I'm going to do the seated version today. As long as you can feel the stretch, doesn't matter which one you choose. Sitting up tall or bringing that leg towards you, we inhale. Exhale, and bringing that leg closer to your chest. Inhale, keeping that top foot flexed for safety. Exhale. 2 more rounds. Inhale. Exhale. Working on deepening your breath. Inhale. Exhale all the way. And we're going to come to the other side straight away. Get ready to go. Bringing that leg over, flexing the top foot, pressing that knee out to the side, and bringing your upper body or your leg together, closer together. We inhale. Exhale. Sending that upper body closer to that foot. Inhale. Exhale. Deepening that breath with every breath. Inhale. Exhale. Last one. Inhale. Exhale here. Gently release, coming down. We're going to do another glute stretch here. Often we hold a lot of tension and stress in our glutes and our hips without even realizing. We're going to come into pigeon pose. Coming to all fours. I find the easiest way to execute pigeon is from all fours. You're going to tuck your toes and find a top of a push-up or a high plank. Inhale. Exhale, and you're bringing the right knee to the right elbow, and you're going to open out and down. So because we've just done a glute stretch, you'll probably be able to feel a little bit more open in this position than you're used to starting out. Sitting up tall, making sure that your hips are over the tops of this pose. We don't want any of our sit bones on the floor here. We want our hips to be square, straight ahead to the front of the room and on top of the posture. Our back foot behind us, the top of the foot is parallel down to the floor, and the front hip is externally rotated. So you can choose to stay here if you can feel the stretch, or coming on down to your elbows. I personally like to make 2 fists stacked on top of each other, and then you can place your forehead like a yoga block down onto the floor. Holding here, we inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. One more round. Inhale. Exhale. And to gently come out, we're finding our hands on our mat in front of us. And to safely get out of this pose, there's 2 options. You can come straight out onto your bottom of the leg that's bent in front, or come straight up into your tabletop. So tuck the toe behind you first on the mat, press into your hands and foot behind you, and then you can push back to high plank. Inhale, high plank. Other side, we exhale, coming on through, opening out and down. is externally rotated, and if you need more of an intense stretch, you can bring the foot that's in front of you higher into a 90-degree angle. And then if you want even more advanced, again, flexing the foot and then coming on over into your pigeon. I personally am not that flexible, or at least I'm not tonight. So make sure that you don't force yourself into any positions your body doesn't want to go into. Getting yourself set up for the stretch. And here we go, breathing. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Last round. Inhale. Exhale all the air. Similar to before, coming on out nice and gentle. I'm going to come out onto my bottom and bringing that leg around. We're going to come into some hip flexor stretches now. So first off here, I want you to learn how to properly align or even know where your hip flexors are. Some people don't quite understand the hip flexor area too well. So what I want you to do is come onto your knees, and you're going to push up, sitting up on top of your knees here. Making sure your ankles behind you are tracking straight behind you. So if your knees are hip width apart, please make sure that your ankles are also hip width apart. What we're going to do is place our hands on our hips, and we're going to tilt our pelvis under a little bit. So if you're wearing jeans and the zip of your jeans is at the front, you want to think about the muscles at the front like the zip of your jeans coming on in this way, just to help activate this area here. We're wanting to bring our pelvis forward so that we can somewhat make a straight line from our rib cage down to our leg here. Often we can be quite weak in the abdominals and tighten our lower back, and we can walk around sort of like a little bit of a banana back, where our spine curves out this way, and we sort of got this disjointed line here at the front of our body. So in order to work on activating our hip flexors and lengthening them, I want you to think about tucking under through here, tailbone straight to the floor, cinching everything in this way, and navel to spine. So we're creating that straight line through here. So some of you might already be feeling a bit of a pull through the hip flexor, and the easiest way to explain it is basically your bikini line area. So there's a muscle that runs from your abdominals through your hip and connects to your quadricep muscle, which is your big muscle here at the front. So by tilting under, we're lengthening up and up we come. We'll take an inhale. Exhale, we're going to come back down this way. Inhale, come up, and we're going to tuck under, lengthening through here. Exhale, and back. Inhale, tuck under, activate. Exhale, good. Inhale, tuck under. And the more you do this, you'll start to really feel those muscles activate, get some heat through there, some circulation, and become a bit more familiar with your hip flexors. And down, inhale up, push through the hips, tuck under, push the hips forwards. Exhale. Inhale, you can even squeeze your glutes behind you. This is going to help you tuck under. We'll do 2 more of these. Push. And last one. Awesome. Coming back to our mats, we're going to come through into our hip flexors stretching now. So bringing your right foot forward in front of you, we're going to kneel up on that knee, similar to before. We're tucking under here. We haven't come forward just yet. We're still up on our knee, creating a straight line from our knee to the floor, up the body here. Tucking under, take an inhale. As you exhale, you're then going to press forward. You can place your hands down on the mat here if you need extra support. So by starting off in that proper position coming forwards, we're maintaining our hips in a square position as well. Getting a better stretch for alignment here. So when you come forwards, just have a quick look at your ankle and knee. We want them in a nice straight line for alignment. Pressing the hips down to the earth, breathing here, we inhale. Exhale. Beaming that heart forwards to the front of the room, inhale. Exhale, letting go of any tension in the head, neck and shoulders. Inhale. Exhale, you can shake the head a little bit every time you exhale, just to remind you to relax. Inhale. Exhale. One more, inhale. Exhale. You're going to walk your hands back to your hips to gently come out of this pose. Switching the leg around, back to meet the other, and coming up into our position where we started, tucking under, activating those muscles, taking an inhale. Exhale, you can place your hands on the mat here, bringing your left foot around to the front, making sure it's in line with the same hip as foot. Sitting up tall, just to help support you here. Remember, tucking under before we move, we inhale. Then we exhale, and you can walk it forwards here. Check that your ankle and knee is in one straight line up to the sky. Getting ready to go and beaming that heart to the front of the room. Take a breath, inhale. Exhale, shake it out. Inhale. Exhale. Relax that head, neck and shoulders. Inhale. Exhale. Last one, inhale. Exhale. Coming on back here. We're switching over to the other side, same thing again. You can either choose to come straight through if you know how to line up your hips and hip flexors, tuck under, coming through. Now it's really important here more than ever to make sure that your ankle and knee is in a straight line as we're coming into a dynamic stretch here. What we're going to do is walk our hands back onto that knee. The knee doesn't move and the heel of the front foot doesn't move. We're just simply straightening that front leg and we're beaming that heart towards that foot. Knee is straight at the front, toes are flexed to the face. You'll get a beautiful hamstring stretch under here. Then we're going to inhale, walk it forwards, back down into our hip flexor stretch, opening up the chest to the front of the room. We're going to do this a few times and we're going to sync the breathing with it as well, so you'll get a deeper opening. We'll inhale to the front of the room. Inhale, hold. Exhale, we're going to move on back. Inhale, walk it forwards. Expand the chest as we inhale through. Exhale, walk it back, sending that belly and chest towards that leg. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Hands over onto the inside of the leg, and it'll just be easier to switch on over to the back. Have a little water break if you need. Also as well, if you're somebody who needs a little bit more extra padding under their knee, the one that we're up on, you can grab a jumper, a cushion, a t-shirt, something that's just going to help cushion the floor under that knee. It will just make it a lot more comfortable for you if you're needing a little bit of extra help. Coming on over again, getting those hip flexors ready, so kneeling up on the legs, pressing those hips forward, we inhale. Exhale, hands can come down and then coming through. Hands Hands on either side. Same thing here. Remember, we're not moving the back knee, making sure that the front foot is in line with that knee more than ever here. Taking an inhale, lift the chest. Exhale, other side. Now we're walking on back, sending that chest, belly, chest and belly towards our leg. Inhale, coming through, expand the chest. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. So remember, coming back to our breath, super important. You'll get deeper into those stretches and it's much more relaxing. Inhale, we expand forwards, lift the chest. Exhale, coming on back. Inhale, coming through. Exhale, coming back. Inhale, we've got 2 more. Exhale. Inhale. Coming through here, hands on the inside of that front leg and bringing it on back. We're going to scooch to the back of our mat now. We're going to come into a gentle upward facing dog. Probably moving through Sphinx first, just so that we move into upward facing dog. Nice and gentle there. So this is to get a bit of the lower back active in our movements as well. Because when you think about when we sit in the splits, one leg is behind us all the way, so we're having to sit up on our spine the best that we can with that back leg all the way behind us as well. I think the tendency is to wanting to sort of tip forward with the upper body there. So walking it forwards, we're going to come down to the floor, onto our elbows, into Sphinx. So making sure that the elbow joint is directly under the shoulder joint. We're going to flip the palms down to the floor and plant those hands. Wrists are in line with those elbows as well. Now the trick here is we don't want to dump or sink into our neck and shoulders. We want to push that floor away from us and lengthen up through the spine. Also, if we have a tendency to sort of strain through our neck or dump into our shoulders, we're actually constricting some important parts of our body that give us oxygen to the brain, and sometimes we can get a little lightheaded or see stars. So if that's happening for you, please come out of the pose and just do what you feel is appropriate for you. So lifting up and out, super important. We'll breathe here, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, and we're just going to take a little small rest down to the floor. You can place your head on top of your hands, and while we're here we can rock our hips from side to side. This always feels a little bit funny to me, but it's actually quite nice feeling the floor underneath you. Now from here you've got 2 more progressions to go. So we're going to place our hands, the tip of our fingers, underneath our shoulders first. We're going to do our best to keep our hips on the floor, so we're not coming fully all the way up yet. Our legs are going to be relaxed down on the ground still. When we come up, we're doing a spinal roll to come up. The head comes up very last, so it looks like this. And then the head last. Exhale, we'll come on down. And when we come down, the head comes down last as well. So we'll take a slow, gentle inhale to come on up. Here we go. Inhale. Feeling those hips down to the floor. You'll also feel a bit of a stretch through the abdominals. Exhale. And possibly the hip flexors, you'll feel a stretch as well. Inhale. So sort of any parts of that front body you're feeling stretch, that's completely normal. Exhale. Inhale, coming through. Exhale. And again. Inhale. You can even squeeze the glutes here as well. This will help support your lower back. Exhale. Now, You can stay with that progression and you don't have to go any further. But if you'd like to go a little bit further, from here, instead of having your fingertips underneath your shoulders, I want you to move your fingertips in line with your nipple line. I know it's always a little bit funny, everyone likes to giggle at that one. But what that's going to do is it's going to bring you up a little bit higher. And when you do come up, this is your fully executed upward facing dog. So I want you to straighten your legs and push your body weight into the tops of your feet. And your legs should come off the ground when you do this. So the tops of your feet are touching the floor and your hands, and that's pretty much it. Your hips are off the floor and your knees come off the floor. So here we go, plant the hands firmly, take a breath. Inhale, we're going to exhale to come through to this one and push on up. Exhale. Hips are off the floor, knees are off the floor, it's just the tops of the feet and the hands. Take a breath, inhale, push that floor away from you, lengthen up. Exhale, you're going to come on down gently with the hips first and then all the way through. Take a moment here, we're going to do this 2 more times. Take a breath, we inhale first, don't move. Exhale, coming through, push, up we come, lengthen all the way, inhale. Exhale, gently coming through to the floor. Take it slow, guys, you need to be nice and gentle with your body. And relax down to the floor, we've got 1 more to go. Inhale, nice big breath. Exhale. Push, up you come, lengthen, press that floor away, inhale. Exhale, gently coming on down. Now we're going to take a rest here flat on the floor, just to counteract our spine. Wriggling the hips from side to side helps to loosen the back a little bit. Feel free to close your eyes here and just tune into your body once again. Underneath our shoulders, pressing us all the way back, taking a child's pose. Toes are touching underneath your hips, knees can be nice and wide, stretching forwards and forehead coming down to the floor. Sinking open and down into your hips, staying with your breath. Take a breath here. We're going to walk our hands back towards our hips. We're going to come into a hip opener here. This will help us with our middle splits. Coming to the side of our mat, so you'll have a bit more cushioning on the floor to be comfortable here. We're going to come back out into what that child's pose was, but we're bringing the knees as wide as we can comfortably. Toes can still be touching underneath you at this stage, but we're going to change positions in just a moment. But what I want you to aim here is opening those knees nice and wide through the groin area. You're then going to come on over and we're going to line the hips up with the knees. So I don't want you to come forwards or be all the way back here. Find a happy medium where your hips are over the top of the pose. From here, you're then going to look behind you and check where your ankles are. And you're going to open up your ankles so that they're in line with your knees. Sort of feeling like a little bit of a frog at this point. Then you're going to come on down to your elbows, and our upper body is somewhat in like a plank position. So yes, we're trying to get the stretch through the groin and the hips here, but I don't want anyone sinking through their spine. So coming back to our bandhas, our Mula Bandha and Uddiyana Bandha, activating navel to spine, pelvic floor. This is going to support you in this position. We come on down to our elbows so that our spine is in a nice straight line, keeping the head in a neutral position here. And simply gravity and the weight of your hips will take you down into this pose. We're going to hold for 4 rounds of breathing. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. And you can do small rocking back and forth just to find your maximum stretch position. You'll feel it, trust me. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. One more round. Inhale. Exhale. To come out of this pose, we're going to come onto our hands first, bringing our toes behind us again, and then you can push yourself up onto your knees. Bringing the legs together just to help counteract those hip and groin areas of the stretch. It's always good to gently counteract whatever stretch you've done, coming back to a neutral position. We're going to move into our calves now. So why are we stretching our calves when splits seems to be a lot about the hips and sort of the midsection of the body here? But everything in our body is connected. So the more loose we can be in all areas of our body, especially through the legs, we're going to be stretching the feet too, and you'll notice a big difference in your splits if you do these. So we're going to be coming through into a downward facing dog. I find downward dog is a great way to stretch out your calves here. So find your tabletop, take a breath, inhale, exhale. You're going to move through your downward dog. So tuck the toes behind you, hips come back, drop the head, and hips come up to the sky. You'll also feel a bit of an extra hamstring stretch through the backs of your legs, which is a bonus. And you can pedal through the feet as you go through here. Breathing, staying connected with your breath. You're going to stop pedaling, but bend one leg and leave the other one straight. We're going to breathe here. We inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale, switch to the other side. We inhale. You can bring that foot off the floor if you want to for an extra stretch. Breathing, inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale, switch. Same thing. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale, switch. Last side. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. And to gently come out, bring both feet down to the floor, and you can move through into your tabletop again, bending the legs and coming on down. We're going to come into our feet here, switching on over onto your bottom. Bring the legs out in front of you. You're going to bring one across over the top of the other, similar to our number 4 shape earlier that we did with a different stretch, and coming into the ankles. So this here isn't so much about the ankles that we're doing. We're actually wanting to articulate the foot itself, waking up those muscles, getting into the toes as well, moving that blood through the feet. So when we do our splits, we will be pointing our toes. So in order to get a flattering line, some foot flexibility is a good way to go with that as well. Other way, change directions with the foot. We should be feeling loose, warm. We've still got a couple more stretches to go yet. And then I'll teach you how to safely practice moving into your splits. Other side, switch it over. Moving it around. Change directions. I remember when I was doing lots of ballet and point work, which I despised. But in order to get my feet more flexible, I used to have, I think it was a chest of drawers in my bedroom, and you would wear your point shoes, and then you would place the box part of your point shoe underneath your dresses in sort of like a bed position like this, and then your toes are pushed underneath my dresser, and I would then try and sit back and straighten my legs the best that I could to really stretch the top of your feet. You really start to feel it through the tops of your feet and where it connects to your ankle. So we'll work on a little bit of those stretches today. We're not going to be using point shoes, but it's amazing some of the stuff that we put ourselves through as dancers. So what we can do though is start to use our feet and manipulate our feet a little bit, even with a little bit of self-massage. So we're going to sort of in a cross-legged position. I've got my right foot out in front of me. You're going to point your toe and open out the knee, and you're just going to start to use your hands a little bit to do some manipulation and some massage through the tops of the feet there. So really use the strength of your hands to feel underneath the arch, push the arch up a little bit as well, have a bit of a massage there and a bit of a play, and you'll start to feel a little bit of that articulation and stretch through the top of your foot and even into your big toes. I'm personally someone who struggles with circulation in my feet, like I constantly have cold feet. And so this is another great way to make sure that your feet are nice and warm. And we'll switch it over, other side. Point the toe to the best that you can. Notice the shape and notice where you feel like you need to work into with that flexibility and that massage. Pushing up under the arch as well. So a lot of the articulation of a pointed foot happens in the arch of the foot, and that flexibility or articulation will follow through into the toes. So if there's somewhere you need to feel like you need to work on through your self-massage through your feet, is underneath the arch and then stretching through the top of the foot. Alrighty. Now, if you're someone who's wanting a little bit more articulation or stretch through the feet, you can come on over onto your knees, kneeling down, and you can do this 1 foot at a time, or if you're game enough, you can do both feet at the same time. So you're going to bring one hand over to the side, the leg that's going to stay on the floor, placing your body weight down. You're then going to bring the shin of the other one up onto the toe here. So this is a bit more of an extreme stretch. You'll start to really feel it through here. And the more you want to increase your stretch, you'll just bring your foot forward and the knee will come higher. And the opposite, if you want less of a stretch, just come on back closer to your bottom. So we're just particularly just aiming to lift that knee off the floor, pressing it down into the ground. We're going to hold here. 2 rounds of breathing. Inhale. Exhale. 1 more. Inhale. Exhale. Relax. Make sure you're gentle enough. If you're going to get a cramp, make sure you stretch it out the other way. And coming to the other side, getting yourself set up. Holding here, we inhale. Exhale. 1 more, inhale. Exhale. Okay, we've got 2 more variation stretches to go, and then we're coming into our splits. So we're going to articulate through the hips, external rotation a little bit more. So you can come up to the sky, legs are fairly straight all the way up here. Nice wide stance or second position in dancing. If your hands can come down to the floor with your legs straight, great. If not, don't stress. We're still going to be coming over onto one side. So if you're someone who can come all the way down, trying your best to keep the base of your heel the leg that's bent down onto the floor. This means you might have to bring the leg that's out to the side a little bit further towards the front of your room and holding here. Now, if some of you are a little bit tight in your hamstrings, use the floor as a prop. Come on over, hands come down, booty is all the way up to the sky, and then just feel where your flexibility is at and holding here. We're going to walk our hands through to the other side, bending through and coming on down. So you might get a stretch as well through the groin in this position. Wherever you're feeling a stretch, that's simply just where your body needs it. Taking a breath, inhale, exhale, walking it through. Inhale, exhale. A little bit of a dynamic stretch here to keep our hips open for our splits. Inhale, exhale, walk it through nice and gentle. Inhale, exhale, inhale. Keep the chest lifted the best that you can. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. Last one. Inhale, exhale. Beautiful. Come on down, hands behind you, coming on down to your bottom. Last stretch. We're almost there, guys. Gonna take a sip of water. We're going to come into our straddle stretch. So facing the side of the room, or making sure you're on the longer edge of your mat. We're going to start off sitting up tall on our sit bones and just bringing the legs out to either side. Now, for the sake of the fact that we're doing the splits, I normally wouldn't teach this stretch by saying go to your maximum to start, but because we are quite warm at this stage and we've opened up through the hips a bit, I do actually want you to find your maximum here. Maintaining your hips, feeling your hip bones underneath you up on top of the center there. Toes are flexed at this stage, straight up to the sky, maintaining that external rotation through the hips. Take a breath in, lift up with the spine. As you exhale, we're going to walk the hands forwards. Everyone will be at a different pace here, position. So you can be on your elbows all the way down as far as your maximum is, if you're someone who likes to really sprawl down on the floor, or just stay up on top, wherever you are, as long as you're feeling a stretch. We're going to hold and breathe. Inhale. Toes are still flexed up to the sky. Exhale. Working on feeling into those hips and groin. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Gently walking the hands back to those hips. We're going to do this stretch 2 more times through and finding your maximum again. So every time you relax down into where you are through this stretch, you're then going to come out of the stretch and scooch forward a little bit more. Inhale, lifting up. Exhale, coming on through. Holding and breathing. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Gently coming out. And one more time, coming a little bit further forward into your stretch. Last one for this particular stretch. Lifting up tall, take an inhale. Exhale, coming on through. Inhale. now it's time for the actual splits. So it's always important to warm up and do stretches to prepare for the splits. You never want to use the splits as a stretch completely on its own. So in order to safely come into the splits, a way that I personally like to teach is we're going to revisit our hip flexor stretch on the floor. So making sure you've got plenty of room behind you and in front of you to extend your legs. Hands on the hips, we come on up, tucking that pelvis under here. Now personally, I'm someone who executes the splits as a dancer. So what I mean by that is we work on our external rotation as dancers, or ballet or jazz dancers, in order for that line that we want to create in dancing. So working on opening our back hip and our front hip as well to get a beautiful external rotation line. So I'll be teaching it this way today. Some of you have probably been taught the splits in different ways. There's no right or wrong. They all have a purpose and a reason or a rhyme. So coming through, tucking the pelvis under, we inhale. Exhale, we're going to come through into our low lunge. Bring it forwards here. So everything here I like to start off parallel because you do get a bit of an extra hip flexor stretch through the front just to revisit that area. You can do a couple of rocks back and forth to get the blood flowing and revisiting those muscles again. So to So to actually come into the splits, I want you to place both hands down on either side of your front leg. This is going to be supportive for safety reasons. I don't want anyone jolting in and out of their pose. Don't want any injuries to occur. So as you start to slide on down, you can either choose to slide your back foot away from you and your front one will extend, or you can just work your front foot forwards as a way to slide down to the splits. As I come down, I personally externally rotate my back leg, so my knee comes out to the side in like an attitude position that is turned out. Both hands are still on either side of my leg. This is helping to support me up and gently coming on down. So you'll start to feel a stretch to even begin with here, a bit of an extreme stretch underneath the front hamstring is where I'm feeling it. And you want to stay here and breathe again. We're relaxing into the stretch, relaxing our nervous system. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. And to gently come out of the stretch, you're going to come on over onto that front hip bone. And then you can swing the legs back around. Take a moment here to counteract your muscles and your joints. You can come back to a kneeling position. Taking a breath, we inhale and exhale. Recentering, inhale. Exhale, we'll come through to the other side, pressing those hips forward, getting ourselves set up on our mat, tucking the pelvis under. Take a breath, inhale. Exhale, placing the hands down and coming through to that low lunge. Squaring the hips up, aligning your foot at the front with your knee. Beaming that chest forwards, again revisiting those areas of the body that might need a little bit of mobility or dynamic stretching. Coming forwards into your low lunge, hands on either side to help stabilize you, and again coming down into the splits. Taking your time and a bit of a moment to get down into them. And don't expect to be all the way flat just yet, especially with the weather or if you're in a colder room as well. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Last round. Inhale. Exhale, gently coming out onto that front hip bone. Switching those legs around. And we're going to come into our middle splits here. So we're using our middle splits more like a stretch in this pose to get lower and down into that side split. So coming on over to the long edge of your mat, opening up the legs similar to before in our straddle. Now the only difference is what we're going to do is we're going to come up and over onto our hands or elbows, similar to that frog hip opener we did when we were in our plank position with the elbows on the ground. So to do this, I like to push up with one hand behind me to get my body weight all the way over on top. So coming on up, I like to keep the feet flexed. You can have them pointed here. There's no right or wrong. You'll just get a different sensation of stretch there. And I like to keep it flexed because I come on over onto my elbows and then my feet come down onto the floor. So pressing my hips down into that ground and letting gravity also take you down. Breathing here, sinking down, hold, breathing, and to come out, you can either reverse the way you came or you can come over onto your knees or onto your belly and coming through. So those are the ways I like to stretch right side, left side and middle splits. So we're going to come through and do that one more time because just stretching it once while you're nice and warm and limber isn't going to get you deep enough. There's still enough room that you can move further into your splits. Take a sip of water if you need to before we get into it one more time. Remember to really use your breath as a tool here. Relaxing that nervous system and coming through. Here we go again. Inhale. Exhale. Low lunge. Get yourself set up, ready to go. Inhale. Exhale to come on down into your splits. You might find you can get a little bit lower now. Hopefully that's what we're aiming for. If not, again, still be gentle and kind to yourself as you stretch through. Inhale. Point that front toe and back foot. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. 2 more rounds. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale, gently coming out. Beautiful. Left side, here we go. Coming on back onto the legs, you can have a little bit of a wriggle here to help counteract. Take a breath, we inhale. Tuck under. Exhale, coming through. Inhale, getting your splits set up and ready to go. Take a breath, inhale. Exhale, moving on down into your splits. Pointing both feet. Using that floor. Here we go, we inhale. Exhale, keeping our shoulders square to the front of the room the best that we can. Inhale. Exhale. 2 more rounds. Inhale. Exhale. Last round. Inhale. Exhale. swinging the legs around. Last time, coming on over into our middle splits, our stretching down those hips down to the ground. I'm going to face this way this time just to mix things up. Alrighty, coming to the long edge side of your mat. Opening your legs out nice and wide into that straddle. Sitting up tall through those sit bones. And remember, we're going to walk our hands and upper body over to the front of the room. One hand behind you, one on top. You can push to push you over. Flex the feet up to the sky. And then coming on over onto your elbows. Keeping those feet flexed and holding here. Inhale. Exhale. If you're struggling to do your full rounds of breathing, just work on focusing just simply breathing. Holding and breathing. Hold, stretch, breathing, and then gently coming out. Knees together, kneeling position. You can either kneel or you can sit cross-legged, whatever's most comfortable for you. We're going to take some centering breaths here just to conclude our stretch routine. Palms facing up or down on the legs, depending on what energy you feel you need to receive. Closing down our eyes and taking a moment to come inward. Calming the nervous system, letting the heart rate drop. Feeling the body and the breath move throughout. Take 2 rounds of breathing unified together. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Same thing, inhale. This time we're going to sigh out through the mouth. Really let go of that breath. And again. One more, inhale. Closing our practice for tonight, bringing the hands to heart center, connecting to this space. May I feel gratitude for my body as a whole, allowing it to do everything that it is capable of, and for me to be compassionate towards my body. Take a moment to center yourself here, possibly take a centering breath. Exhale. Namaste. Thank you so much, beautiful souls, for joining me here today. I hope you really got a lot out of our stretch in this video. Please come back, return to this video whenever you would like to practice your stretching routine. And I'll be posting and going live throughout the weeks as normal, as I do every Wednesday and Sunday. The times are on my Instagram page.